Hey everyone, it's Jamie Slays. Today I'm bringing a quick video on how to do the ToneX capture from IK Multimedia. So recently I did a video on the ToneX plugin, which is where you can listen to their own amps that they've made and use them, not just listen to them actually. But on the ToneNet you could download other people's captures that they've made. As well as the ToneX box, they did send me an AXIO interface as well. So today I've used that so I can capture over here my 5150 Iconic. I've got a screen record as well, because what I've done is I've captured the amp already, because here's one I made earlier. I didn't want to necessarily show the process because it's lots of wires and lots of walking around, and it took me a long time, so I didn't want to have to time lapse it. Where I've actually already, which is another cool feature, used the amp out of the AXIO to go into the 5150 Iconic and then record with a mic the clean DI that's coming out, so essentially reamping. If you can see on the screen here, I've got the clean DI. It does say filters engaged because I imported another file, but it isn't that, it's Metallica. So I've got here the clean DI, but you can see it's bigger, and then the clean DI down here, which is smaller. The big one is the one that's the actual amp recording, and it's not stereo because I only recorded one mic placement. So I did the SM57. I've got a Zilla Fat Boy cab. Hi Paul, Zilla, thanks for sending it over. Or making me a custom one, thank you. And it has a K100 and a vintage 30 speaker. I think I'm using the K100 on this one. It's on the left hand side. I can never remember which side it is. I may do both so you can do a comparison as well. And then also what I've done here, as you can see on the screen, is I have Amplitude open as well. So this one is, I'll just change the name to Recording 5150, and then this one is Plugin. So just a quick one, I'm using Amplitude, the plugin, not the ToneX plugin, because it does have its own standalone. I'll just show you where it lives. So when you open it up and you get default, I'm just going to literally start again because I had to learn this myself. So on this track where it says plugin, I'm going to open up a fresh installation of Amplitude just so you get an idea of how it works from the start. We're going to click on Brit 8000, go into Other, then click ToneX. Then up here, we're going to click here, and then we're going to type in Iconic, because that's my one. So I've got two here. I've got one that's just the head, and I've got one that's the cab as well. So let's just try the cab one, because I don't want to have to add another cab here, because then that may not sound the same, because I've actually captured the cab here. So let's see how it sounds with recording the audio. So that was coming out of the left side because it's panned for both songs, so I'm just going to put it back to the center. Sounds pretty good. So what you can also then do is add things like reverb. You can turn the gain down. There we go. If we do the traditional Metallica preset, all treble, no mids and full bass. So yeah, as you can see here, even though I've captured the sound of my 5150, in which the EQ is low is on 5, EQ of mid is on 5.5, and high is actually on 4. I copied a lot of these settings from the Brandon Ellis photos he posted the other day, because he's now an EVH artist and he uses the Iconic and the 5153. The gain is on full on the green channel as well, and then the resonance is on 6 and the presence is on 7. But as you see here, you can still change those things after. So let's now look at the one that's essentially a reamp of the DI. So this is the left channel or the right channel of the Metallica song, their new song, Look to Turner. So in this video, I'm also going to put at the end, like, you know, a screen grab of just the direct recordings of the head and then the ToneX plugin. I'll just show you briefly how you would set up the plugin stuff to make a modular version. So when you go into, I did it actually not in Logic, but I did it in the ToneX plugin itself. And when you go into it, there's a section for like playing, and then there's one for modeling. I'm just going to open it now so you can see on the screen recording. So I've got player here and then modeler here. When you go into modeler and then press next and guitar, I did both amp and cab, and amp, as you saw, there was one that had a cab already built into it. If you do just amp, which is what I did, you can then change the cabs after. If you do amp and cab, it's a little more difficult because I've already then baked it into it. It's kind of like how you can't get eggs. It's kind of like how you can't get eggs back out of a cake once you've made it. So then when you go in here, with whatever interface you've got, it gives you quite in-depth instruction. So like, choose your output so you can hear from the monitors. I've got the Andertons T7V audio monitors that they sent me recently. Thank you very much, guys. And then I've got the AXIO interface. So the in is coming out of the amp. So what you do is you put a 1/4 inch cable or just a jack lead, an instrument one, into the input, and then the AXIO has an amp output, which technically is output 5. And then with the back of the AXIO, there's microphone input. So I've got the mic of the SM57 down here that's going into input 1 technically, because input 1 for the instrument and mic are the same input, but they're on the front and the back. And then input 2 is the guitar. I think that just creates like an effects loop. You don't actually have to play anything. Well, actually you do. In a sec you'll see that there is a bit where you've got to play some stuff to hear how it sounds. One thing that's different here, because I'm not using the reamplification box, I tried using the ToneX box and I got a bit confused, and the guys over at IK Multimedia gave me some pointers instead. So instead of this one just goes straight into the amp, not into this. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a cable here that goes into the input of the Iconic that comes out of the amp output of the AXIO. I'll put a screen thing on here so you can see what it looks like. But here, you'll see, so that's to create a sound, and then this is, if I had the amp off standby, you'd be able to hear it coming out of there. And then when you do this, one cool thing is you can actually play other people's sounds out of the amp itself. Let me just turn it on and see if it works. So that is either me, so you can hear me playing, or if I go to here, you can. That bass one was really nice. So that is so you can hear what it sounds like. So when you then capture it, it makes a little, kind of similar to the Quad Cortex and Kemper. It does that bloop bloop bleep bloop bleep 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 kind of stuff, R2D2 sounds. But then it like plays guitar, so it has people like sweeping and doing country music and stuff. So you can just go off and do stuff. So I went off and had breakfast and then came back. And then you get, I'm not going to do it here because it takes like 10 minutes or so. But then you get an option to process it. There's like fast, default, and then like extra, super duper. Extra super duper is if you've got a really powerful computer. It takes a couple of hours apparently, maybe like 4 hours. Default I think took me about 10 minutes, and then fast took about 5 minutes because I did the amp on its own on default I think, and then I think the amp and the cab on fast. So that's how that happens. But then when you come into here, you get it pop up on this side. So when you go into ToneNet, you have to sign into it. It's like an online portal. It lets you then save your presets and upload them. So you can see here, there's my one. And since then, 3 people have uploaded theirs. So when you click on it, you then, I don't know if this will work. Oh, it does work. So you can now hear, I'm playing through my own amp. Again, as I showed you, you can mess around with it. You can change the things up here. You can actually turn that off, which makes it sound like that. Which is clever, because that means it's, when it's profiled it actually did profile them separately. So when I said earlier they were baked in, maybe it's not baked in, because then you can change the cab to be something else. Okay, so I was completely wrong. There you go, there's my cab that I captured earlier. I should probably put that as a K100. Wow, okay, so you can do that. You can actually unbake the cake. You can take the eggs out after. So yeah, like I said, I will put these as their own files so you can hear them properly, because I don't know how well it's going to sound from the screen capture. So yeah, that was pretty much how you do that. Wasn't super in depth, but I just wanted to showcase how it looks and how it sounds, and how the 5150 Iconic actually sounds as a captured version. It's easy for me just to play it, but then to have a reamped version as well. It to me sounds very similar. So when I bounce it out, you can see what you think. Let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer, or if it sounds the same, or if there's one that's slightly different. So also, IK Multimedia are doing a giveaway. So they said, hey Jamie, here's 5 codes that you can give away to your fans, your followers, your commenters, your subscribers, so that they can win Tone X as well for free. So basically, let's do a like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and then comment down below saying why you should win. And then at random, the system that is AI random checkers, or whatever it is, random checking name generator things, will choose 5 random people, and I'll send out the codes to you and you'll get it for free. So yeah, comment down below, like the video, subscribe, and then the random machine of randomness will check 5 people and you'll win. Thanks again guys for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and obviously you need to do that anyway to enter the competition, and I'll see you guys next week for some more Metal Riff videos.